Yeah, I'm very happy to be able to join another sub0 in person. So today I'm going to talk about Gem and Acala's version about what we would like to achieve after everything is being delivered. But that will take years, so this is more about version. And also things that we are working on towards the destination that we would like to be achieved. Quick intro myself, this is Brian, CTO co-founder Acala. I'm also a Danforth member of the Polkadot core fellowship, so I have dedicated some of my time helping maintaining and operating the Polkadot protocol itself a bit. I'm also a curator of the Polkadot Assurance Legend. There is an on-chain bounty helping the core time users to get supporting the security needs and auditing needs. So if you want to talk about fellowship or the auditing stuff, talk with me. Yeah, I think Kian had a great talk about Gem explaining all the things, so I guess I can kind of skip this session. But just a quick example, like what can be done with synchronized compatibilities. Of course, they require a lot of work to make it actually possible. But there's something that's possible would allow, like for example, you can do a flash loan from Ethereum or one of the Ethereum L2s, and making a synchronized call into an existing power chain and doing some swap, send assets to another power chain, doing a bunch of other arbitraging, and go back to the source and repay the flash loan, make some profit, and that's it. So this is like impossible in any other ways. Well, I would just say that. It may not be true, but anyway. So it's very interesting use case, and there are, of course, a lot more can be achieved. I'll quote a bit more about it. So with the core time, it will be, also with agile core time we have right now, the cost of launching a new core time users will be that cheap. So that means anyone can launch the servers, and servers can interact with each other, but those, well, I shouldn't say servers, the on-chain or the applied decentralized protocols, but they all have their own governance body. So, like for example, if a chain have a sudo, they can do whatever they want. So that creates kind of trust issues. Like you don't really want to talk to someone that you cannot trust them. So Oracle solved this problem by like we're both agreeing this and the underlying servers enforcing those rules. So I know you can be trusted because they cannot steal the money, for example. So at Acala, our version is unifying the liquidities with the new capabilities, leveraging all the new features of Gem. So there are a lot of work. Like ultimately, what we want to do is UX that works easy, nice, simple, and scalable. That actually can be used by everyone. So there are a lot of, from the destination, there are a lot of things we need to do from the top level. So we need to, like I think he also mentioned, like we need to make these things less chance-centric. We need to do a lot of things, liquidity abstractions and other things. I will just do faster. Yeah. So another example is if you're using a lot of power chain L2s, you need to bridging all the times. The liquidities are very scattering all over the places. The Polkadot have advanced abstraction mechanism, but some of the mechanism like proxy, pure proxy is not really designed for cross-chain use cases. So there's still a lot of technical work we need to do. The Gem just not going to solve it. Like the builders still need to write some code to actually solve those problems. So of course, the Gem doesn't mean power chain is a legacy stuff. Well, you probably could get renamed to something else, but all existing power chain will be able to just migrate to Gem without minimum amount of work. Like there's no runtime upgrade or runtime change at all. Of course, if you want to use a new feature, you need to upgrade, but if you just run as it is, you don't need to do anything. You probably doesn't need to actually do anything because the new OMI code will handle everything for you. Yeah, it can be used to secure existing and new L2s. In theory, of course, someone need to write some code to make it possible, but in theory, it's possible. And yeah, the chainless steps, I think he also mentioned it. So the core pay and other mechanisms that you can run arbitrary programs in the Gem. We'll talk about in the previous meetup that you could run some classic games, Dooms or other games inside Gem in near native speed, which will be very interesting. It will be wasteful, but it will be interesting. Yes, I already mentioned some of the things. So yeah, so there will be a lot of chance of this kind of on-chain protocols, not necessarily a chain, but we need some ways to abstract them. Like for example, right now it will be quite hard. It will be quite a bit of work, not that hard, but a lot of work for a wallet to support all the chains because they may be using their different pillars for the tokens, assets. There's some work. So we need some solutions to make this easier. And similarly, liquidity pools, like this is kind of solve the problem on Ethereum, like inside a single chain. Like there are a lot of great DEX aggregators allow people to do swap, like crossing multiple pools and get back to the user with best price. But it only works in a single chain, which is not enough in the future. So we need some solutions to make this be able to go to multiple chains, do different complicated trading routes, and come back to the source chain. Yeah, so as I mentioned, Gem makes things possible. You can build this, like previously we can do this, now we can do this. But it doesn't mean when Gem is implemented, all these things will be available. Like someone still need to write the code to leverage all the new capabilities. So there's still a lot of work that need to be done by everyone in this building, or not in the building. Yeah, so one thing I want to emphasize is that like Polkadot 1.0 introduced a lot of new stuff to the Web3 industries, like shared security and other things that other ecosystems are still researching how to achieve the things and kind of end up being the same situation of us a few years ago. However, all these new achievements doesn't necessarily translate to the impact, the UX, the improved UX, improved trading, slippage, etc., to the wider audience of Web3 users, or probably not Web3 users, just all the users, all the people having financial needs and other needs. So there's still a lot of work that needs to be done. Yeah, so I want to ensure that we can do better this time. That we can deliver Gem makes a lot of new things possible, but there is still a possibility that they are not actually making direct impact to many people. So this will be a chance for us to reboot, like trying to rethink about can we do something else? Because previously, well, I think everyone will agree with is that we are not in a situation that the best situation we'd like to be, but maybe do something different this time so it's getting better result. I'm not sure how to do, like what exactly we need to do, but we need to discuss. Yeah, in terms of Acala, so our version is become the liquidity layers. When we would like to be able to provide infrastructures, providing the tools, providing wherever that needs to be provided, to be able to achieve the versions that I previously mentioned, that allow a very seamless user experience for the DeFi users to be able to access the liquidity in all the places. Some places will be in Acala, some places will be in other Polkadot ecosystem chains, some places will be some other non-Polkadot ecosystem layer tools maybe. All still from a nice UX and then actually works and providing very good experience for the users. So there are a lot of things that need to be done, and we are still start working on some of it. So SRouter is one of the things we have launched. Also, it's kind of experiment, but it's also a proper product we have. So the idea is right now, if you asset in one chain, you want to do something on that chain, you need to find a bridge, send there, do something, and maybe send it back. There's a lot of transactions, and then you probably need to go to multiple pages, different wallets, if the two chains are not using like the same wallets. So with SRouter, we will be able to, one transaction right now is already possible to bridge an asset from Ethereum. One transaction on Ethereum, sending an asset from Ethereum to Acala through the one-hole bridge, and then do something with a swap or whatever, and then forwarding the assets to another power chain to the destination. So the user does not need to be aware of existing of the Acala in the process. They don't need to have an account of Acala. They don't need to have any Acala tokens. We will take, of course, someone will the user have to pay some fees in whatever token they would like to be paid. But then the process will be complete and with a very nice user experience to the users that just works. Of course, everything is built with the best practice to ensure the security and the UX. So XCQ is another developer tools that we're building currently. So it's currently on the RFC phase. We have make RFCs to the Polkadot fellowships to proposing, delivering, merging, integrating this into the core Polkadot itself. So we also have a proof of concept available. So the idea of XCQ is that XCM allows sending messages to each other. It's like if I want to do something with another power chain, I will write it down on paper, send it to them, they take the paper, read it, and do it. That's it. It's useful, make a lot of things possible. But a lot of time, I need to query some information. For example, for the liquid staking protocol Acala, we would like to be able to know how much staking rewards are accumulated over the past day or so. Right now, there's no easy ways to query this. Well, there are some ways, but not very easy ways to query those information from the relay chain. XCQ solves this, and it's also not only for the on-chain use, it's also for the off-chain use. For example, as previously mentioned, the chain abstractions, we need a way to be able to unify the access to all the, like, for example, token balance, what sort of token are available, what are the tokens. The token may be in a 128 bytes format or 256 bytes format. The chain have a lot of ways to representing a tokens, so we need a way to create a unified interface for the wallets, for example, the exchanges, the indexes, to querying those information for all the chains. Of course, we want to allow other chains to making the same queries to the chains to get those information. So all this will be unlocked by XCQ to make those information possible. So XCM is able for people to write on the chain. XCQ is for people to read from the chain. So it's powered by PolkaVM, which I'm not going to explain in detail, but basically you will be able to write some Rust code, making some queries, and do whatever you want with the numbers, transforming, calculating the total amount, whatever you like in Rust code. And you'll compile into a blob, the query blob, and send the query to the chain will run it and give you a result back. So it's very generic and works with a sort of chains. So Polka is the gen implementations that we are building at Acala and Lemina. So for people don't speak Chinese, Polka is the Polkadot in Chinese is Polka. So yeah, it's a I'm not that great at naming, so I've just picked something familiar. So it's built with Swift. So we were thinking about like what language to build. Not Rust, because other people and party will be reading Rust. So trying to find another language. I was thinking about C++. I read a bit about the best practice of C++. I was a C++ dev, but that's many years ago. So I read the latest C++ best practice since C++ 11 to, I think, 21 something now. There's like 50-page documents that I have to understand every single of it to be able to write a secure performance C++ application. So I'll pick Swift. It's a nice language. It's very efficient, very simple memory management, and the new version have good concurrency support. And the most important thing is it have native intro to the C and C++. I can literally just bring some C code or C++ code. It will compile and run it. And I can call from Swift directly. So that's very good for the fallbacks. That in case there's something we like to do, it cannot be done with Swift, then I would just write in C or C++ or Rust by using C binding. Yeah, another thing nice about this is the Apple actually have an official working group to support the usage of Swift on the non-X servers. So, for example, there are community projects for RPC servers, RPC frameworks, sorry. yeah. So those kind of things. So they are quite nice support. If you have questions, needs, there's someone there to help. Yeah. So we're also using RocksDB for the database and MSQ, I say, from Microsoft for the networking stuff. About progress. So not sure, you'll probably not be able to see the details on the screenshot, but basically we are able to run multi-node networks that are able to produce blocks, and that's it. We built a tiny, simple dashboard that's showing the block numbers so I can know if something goes wrong. So in this case, it's a 3-node network building blocks using sub0 protocol. Yeah. So we complete the most of the on-chain code up to an older version. So the latest version we haven't integrated yet. Obviously, networking is working. The node talk with each other using the Gem networking protocol. Very, very simplified version of it, ignoring a lot of stuff. Production working, TradeDB working. Right now, everything is saved in memory, so I need to make them to save on disk later. And of course, some RPCs, so I can see the status of the node. So yeah, I'm happy with the progress, and hopefully with the next few days, with all the Gem things, we can make it better. Yeah, so this is my talk, and I guess question time?
Hello. Yeah, that's great. Thanks, Brian. Awesome stuff. Let's give a round of applause to Brian. We'll do some questions. Yeah, we'll do some questions now. Does anybody? Yes. Good. Way back there. All right, ready? Here we go. Beautiful catch.
Thank you, Jay. You can hear me, right?
Yep.
Okay, word. So I saw that you had some simple RPCs, or maybe not simple, but RPCs implemented for Jam. What were those based off of? Or are you just using your own RPCs currently for like your own purposes?
Yeah, we're just doing something similar to Substrate, some JSON RPCs, some like chain get block number or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll spend some time documenting about it, so people like we'll spend some time with other people trying to standardize things, so we can, for example, using the same dashboard for everyone.
Awesome. Thank you.
Nice. Thanks, Jimmy. Anybody else? Throw your hands up. Oh, hey. Mini throw.
Hello, you can hear me, right? So
Yep.
my question is about this cross-chain query. I didn't really get, is it related to the new gem?
It's not directly related to the gem, but it's something we need. Well, it's more of like we need right now. We don't need to, yeah. So the one of the key thing about gem is the interoperability between all the chains. We want to talk with all the chains and servers and sort of application, whatever they be called. We want them to talk with each other. So right now, SAQ is only for sending messages. There's no nice, easy ways to asking questions, like getting numbers from the destinations. So we would need this eventually. Well, we need this right now, but we will need this more with Gem because there will be like Ethereum L2s, for example, migrating to Gem, or hopefully maybe one day, or someone will deploy some servers using OpenStack, for example. We want those L2s to be able to talk with Powerr somehow. Then execute will be one of the mechanisms to make this possible.
Brian, have you had any other projects express interest in cross-consensus queries so far?
Yeah, I think this is one of the. Well, there are a lot of people requesting the abilities to doing queries, and then like very initially many years ago, I proposed a token standards for the Polkadot ecosystem. So wallets can query the token information. So, but it never actually format the proper standards agreed with everyone. Like there are still few other attempts on this, but still not really a result. So this is another attempt to be able to actually, for example, writing a token standard. So wallets only need to like understand executes, and all the chains they will be able to instantly support all the chains supporting executes. And this will be like, for example, can be used by exchange to monitor the balance, and like it will be easier for them. For example, integrate the new tokens. They don't need to understand the underlying parlors, for example.
Awesome. Okay, thank you. Any other questions for Brian before we let him go?
Yeah, I want to ask one more time.
Please.
So my another question then, because in the very beginning you told that you want to solve the liquidity fragmentation, and then in the next slide or in the same slide there was about the semi-coherency of the gem.
Yep.
So I want to ask, have you already thought about the way how semi-coherency will work in order to different parachains to appear on the same core? So that's the idea. My assumption was that collators supposed to participate in the agile in the core time auction.
Yep.
In the way to buy the same cores where user wants to have semi-coherency, so have transactions participating in synchronous way.
Yeah, so
I'm talking about this because this will eliminate the need of the cross-chain messaging protocol and of this XCQ as well.
yeah, there are a lot of things. So synchronized compatibility is like sending something and get the results back immediately. And then, but when you're sending something, there's still needs to be a message format, right? They need to speak to the same language. And then, of course, getting message back, they still need to be speak to the same language. There needs to be some standard, so that we.
But this is for an off-chain communication, right?
Yeah. So and then SAQ is also for off-chain stuff, so that a wallet can support all the chains without custom work, for example.
So we can consider this more like a proto-buff for parachain.
Yeah, kind of.
Off-chain communication. Okay. Thank you very much.
Nice, thanks for the question. Anybody else? Okay, yeah.
For XCQ, how do you guarantee that the chain isn't lying, right? How is that done?
So of course we cannot guarantee it. The thing is, if you say I'm querying a balance on this new chain, it say you have 10,000, but you don't have 10,000. Who is lying? Because the chain is the source of the truth, right? Of course, the nodes, the RPC, if you're talking. Querying the chain through RPC, the RPC could lie, but there's another problem. When using light clients, for example, you can, for example, run a light clients locally in your wallets. They're able to execute locally, fetching on-chain state from the actual chains and using light proofs to proving the balance, for example. Then, yeah, it cannot be lied.
Great. Any others? All good. Brian, thank you very much for coming on and sharing this with us.
Yep.
Thank you.